Hello everyone, this is Colton with POSGuys.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Star Micronics line of cash drawers. So we get tons of questions from customers asking what the difference between these three different drawers are. Here I have the CD3, the CD4, and the Star Micronics Max. So we're going to go ahead, break down what's different between them all, what stayed the same, and what I think their best use cases and applications are going to be. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and jump right on into it. So the first drawer we're going to take a look at is going to be the CD3. This is an entry-level light-duty cash drawer, and it's going to be used primarily for like light to medium-duty retail and restaurant setups. The kind of things where you're taking cash, but not a ton. If you're taking a lot of cash, I might recommend something like the CD4 or the Star Max. But for most applications, the CD3 is going to work just fine. It's going to come in both a 13-inch by 13-inch option and a 16-inch by 16-inch option, both in black and white. So you'll have 4 different options to choose from in there. The 13-inch and the 16-inch option are going to have a 4-bill 8-coin slots, or a 5-bill 8-coin slot. So you'll kind of have some options there. Opening up the drawer, you can see that it's going to have some. It's going to come with the coin slot that can be pulled out. Construction-wise, just taking a look at it, it's going to be made of a steel construction with a rolling track system made to last about 1 million opening and closing cycles. If you've used something like an MMF value line before, this is kind of on the same tier, build-wise. Looking at the roller system in particular, as mentioned before, it's a single roller as opposed to a multi-roller system. So over time, there's a ball bearing in there. And over time, with use, one of the sides of the bearing might get flat. And when that does, you're going to start to hear that grinding noise that's kind of associated with the drawer going out. So that's one thing, and that's kind of the one downside with this particular unit. But again, it's still a super solid drawer, and for most applications, this is going to do everything you need it. So the next step up here is going to be the CD4. This is sort of their medium duty drawer, but comparing it to the CD3, it's really similar in a lot of ways. Similar roller system, really not a lot of changes there. But the big notable difference is a reinforced bar that's been included on the top here. And I'll throw a video up. I try to get a good look at it and point it out. But with this reinforced bar, you're going to be able to put about 66 pounds of pressure on the top here without it warping. The CD3 doesn't include that. And on a lot of these cash drawers, if you put a lot of weight on, say whether you have a heavy tablet setup and you're throwing the receipt printer on, or you're using like an all-in-one computer, the drawer might start to flex a little bit, so this bar is going to help prevent that. The other really notable change, or difference on this drawer rather, is the exterior coating. I think of the 3 drawers, this has the nicest coating. It's a little bit of a larger grain as opposed to the CD3 and the Max, which have a really fine grain powder coat. This is just going to show oils and debris a little bit less, so it's going to be less fingerprint. The fingerprints are basically going to show up less on this drawer than the other 2, which have a finer grain that's going to act like sandpaper a little bit and really highlight them. I tried getting some footage of it, but it's really hard to tell. But in person, you can definitely tell the difference. As I noted before, just kind of breaking down the options on this. This is going to come in a 14 by 16 inch option, being 14 wide, 16 inch deep, or a 16 inch by 16 inch option. On the 14 by 16, it's only going to come in a 5-bill, 5-coin. On the 16-inch by 16-inch, you're going to have the option between a 5-bill and a 5-coin till, or a 5-bill 8-coin till. Here I have the 5-bill 5-coin just to try to show the variety of options on there. Of course, it's going to be the coin tray on this is going to be not removable. It is going to be removable. So you'll kind of have that option as well. One thing to note is that on this, the bill slots are kind of at a 90-degree angle. On some other drawers, it's kind of slanted, and I know a lot of people really appreciate that to get bills out. All the coin slots kind of have that arc, but I might have liked to have seen that on any of the options here, because they all, no matter the CD3, 4, or the Max, they're all going to kind of have that 90-degree angle, and some people find that hard to pull the tills out of. But it is a spring-loaded clamp down, which is a big plus. A lot of people use like plastic ones that aren't very durable and they break a lot. This should help out for sure on that. And finally, we've come to the end here with the Star Max series drawer. This is going to be the highest end, so as such, it's going to feature the highest build quality. It's made out of a reinforced steel, all on the outside here. And with all of that, Star rates says that this is going to be able to withstand about 2 million opening and closing cycles before failure. So contrasting that to the million that both the CD3 and the 4 had. It's going to feature the same one roller system. So those are pretty similar, but they did upgrade some of the electronic triggering components in this to kind of give it that little bit of an oomph. Kind of putting this drawer's roller system in context with the other manufacturers' top-end drawers, I'm a little disappointed with it. Generally, a lot of these higher-end drawers from other manufacturers are going to have like multi-ball bearing systems, like 6 or 7, to really, give it a smoother slide and give it some more reinforcement. So in that particular regard, this does lack a little bit, but it's still a pretty solid drawer overall. It's going to come in both a 13 by 17 inch option with a 4 bill 4 coin configuration, as well as the standard 16 by 16 inch with the 5 bill 5 coin configuration. One thing that I did want to note about this drawer that I thought was really interesting is that the till itself doesn't have a removable coin tray. It's all one molded piece. I just thought it was kind of weird that they, on their top end drawer, that wasn't a functionality on that. So, one thing to note there. One other weird quirk that I wanted to mention that I haven't mentioned yet is that you would think with their 16 inch by 16 inch options, they would all kind of have the same tills so that you could swap them out, but that is not the case. They're all slightly different. So if you had a CD4 and wanted to upgrade to a Max, you couldn't reuse your same tills. You'd have to get new tills. So that is one thing to keep in mind. It's not a simple move in that regard. So yeah, just one thing to note. One other big thing about this drawer is the reinforced bar that's on the top here. It's going to feature one just like the CD4, but they did add a little extra oomph on this one. So it's going to be able to withstand a little more weight. But yeah, just kind of looking at the drawer overall and kind of comparing it to the CD4 and the CD3, I'm not entirely convinced that it's going to be worth for most people to move up to the Max. For most people, it sounds like the CD4 is the nice sweet spot, especially from a value perspective. It's going to feature pretty similar specs to the Max. The only time I might suggest the Max over like the CD4 or the CD3 is if you intend to put a lot of weight on this, or if you're worried about theft. The Max does have support for the Kensington lock systems, which allow you to kind of affix it to the drawer, affix it to the counter rather, to give you a little extra security there. But all of them are under counter mountable, and that already makes it kind of hard to pull out. So, just kind of giving some context there, and kind of laying out the options. But overall, the Stars, all three of the drawers are pretty solid. It kind of just depends on how much money you're looking to spend, and what the application is. But with that, that'll wrap up this video. If you have any questions about any three of these drawers or want to potentially purchase one, feel free to visit our website. It's in the URL below. Or you can give us a call or an email, and both of those are on the screen now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great day. See you next time.